what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these trending watermarks for your edits inside of Filmora 14. So let's get started. Alright, first, let's start with the simple one. How to make a glow reflection watermark. First, you need to add your complete edit to the timeline. So, I've added mine like this. Then, select your edit and change it to a compound clip by pressing Alt+G. So why did we change it to a compound clip? This way, we can change the video at any time later. Now let's add the text. I selected the default title and added it to the timeline. Then go to the text settings. In here, type your channel or profile name, then pick a font style you like. And don't forget to add a little gap between the letters. Next, go to the transform settings and adjust the scale and position like this. After customizing your text, select the text layer and change it into a compound clip. Alright, now let's move on to the next step, adding a reflection look to the text. So here's how to do that. First, duplicate your video layer like this. And don't forget to mute the sound on the duplicated layer. Then, select both the duplicated video layer and the text layer and change them into a compound clip. So I named it Watermark. After creating the compound clip, go into the compound clip, select the video layer and increase its scale slightly to about 150. Then, flip it upside down by using the flip setting. Then go to compositing and change the blend mode to linear burn. Now you can see the video layer through the text layer like this. Then we need to add a glow effect. For increase little bit this reflection look, so go to the Effects tab. Select Boris FX plus Light, and then choose the BCC Glow Edges effect, and apply it to the video layer. In the effect settings, adjust the glow brightness to around something like 300. Okay, next return to the main timeline. So now we need to remove this black background. For this I'm going to use Chroma Key. So go to the AI tools and enable the Chroma Key tool. Then pick this eyedropper tool and select the black area on the video layer. Okay, then we need to adjust the settings. So I increase the offset to 100, keeping the tolerance at default. And I change both edge thickness and edge feather to 0. Okay, next, let's add some drop shadow to this. Go to Basic Settings. Enable Drop Shadow. Change the shadow color to black. Set the distance to 2, blur to 2, and leave the opacity at default. Finally, let's add the glow effect. For this, I use the BCC plus glow effect and add it to the watermark layer. Then go to the effects settings, select glow, and set the glow brightness to 350. Then go to the matte and change the range to 100. Also, if you don't have Boris FX effects, you can use this free glow color effect as an alternative, so you can apply it to the watermark layer and adjust feathering to 50 and intensity to 0.35. So you can see it gives a similar result to Boris FX glow effect. And that's how you can create a cool glow reflection watermark in Filmora. So if you ever need to update your edit video, simply go into the video layer and replace it with your new edit. And return to the main timeline to see the updated watermark. Simple as that. Alright, let's move on to the next one, how to create the line watermark. This style is popular among editors because it's simple and easy to create. So here's how to make it. First, go to the text section and add the default title to the timeline. Then, select the text layer and change it to a compound clip by pressing Alt+G. After creating the compound clip, open it, and take a 3.5 second long part from this clip, like this. Next, select the layer, and go to the text settings, then you can customize it as you like. After customizing the text, we need to add the white line. For this, go to Stock Media, pick the white color, and add it to the timeline. Then I take 1.5 second long part from this layer. To turn this segment into a white line, go to the Scale settings and disable Uniform Scale. Then I adjust the X scale to 1.5 and the Y scale to 30. Then I position the line appropriately to align with your text. Now that we've created the white line, so now it's time to animate it. So go out the beginning of the layer and start by creating a keyframe for the Y scale, setting its value to 0. Then move 20 frames forward and change the Y scale back to 30. This gives a nice growing animation for the line like this. Next, we'll animate the line moving to the right. So I select here, create a keyframe for Y scale, and position. Then move forward about 1.2 seconds, and shift the line to the right like this. Also create another keyframe on the Y scale at this point. Then, to make the line disappear, go to 1.30 seconds, and create a keyframe for the Y scale. Then, move to the end of the layer and set the Y scale to 0 to smoothen the animation. Let's adjust the key graph. So go to the key graph, select all keyframes, and apply the ease out graph, and do the same for the other keyframes. This makes the animation more fluid. After this, the line animation should look like this. Now let's add another line. So I duplicate the first line layer. Now we have two line animations. The first line will make the text appear, and the second line will make the text disappear. So let's see how to make that. First, we need to change the text layer to a compound clip, because Filmora doesn't allow add effects directly to text layers, so this step is necessary. After creating the compound clip, go to the Effects tab, select the Video Effects section, and add the image mask effect to the text layer. Then go to the Effects settings and select this mask. Okay, then we need to animate this, so go to the frame where the line starts moving. And here first change the mask width to around 75 and use the X position to create the animation. So I slide the mask to a negative value to make the text disappear like this and set a keyframe. Then, move to the next keyframe and adjust the X position to make the text appear like this. Then repeat the same process to create the text disappearance animation. After this, the watermark animation will look complete, but you can see it might not sync perfectly with the white lines we created. To fix this, let's adjust the key graph for the text animation. So go to the key graph, select all keyframes, and I applying the same ease out graph we used before. This ensures the text syncs perfectly with the white line like this. Once the animation is complete, we can go to the main timeline and I adjust the scale and position of the watermark like this. Then we can add some finishing effects like drop shadow and also the glow effect. And that's it. You've successfully created a line watermark in Filmora. So in the project file, I've included two additional variations. the dual text line watermark, and a textured version. You can download these from the link in the description. Next, let's move on to something a bit more advanced: how to create a 24K John Edits style watermark. To create this watermark, we'll need to use several different font styles. So don't worry, I've included all the fonts in the project file, which you can download. Let's begin by adding a text layer. So I add the default title to the timeline and take a part of it to about 1.47 seconds or 2 seconds, like this. Next, we need to split this text layer into 8 parts to make this glitch scale effect. I'm doing it like this, so you can follow my steps. After splitting the text layer, it's time to customize them. Start with the first text layer. In the text box, type the first part of the channel name or profile name, so mine is CGZ, and the font I use the Armed Lightning font style. Then keep the other settings at default. Now the first one is done. For the second text layer, I type CGZ again in the text box, but this time I use the Night Vengeance font style. So you can see this font has a black line by default, but you can remove it by enabling bold. Then, go to the video settings, unlock the X and Y scale, and change the Y scale to 200. Okay, that completes the second text layer. For the third text layer, type the second part of the channel name, so I type edits. Then I using the Armed Lightning font again. Then go to the video settings, unlock the X and Y scale, and set the X scale to 160, and the Y scale to 85. Now that we've finished the first 3 text layers, repeat similar steps for the remaining layers, so you can simply follow my steps. After customizing all the texts, let's add some gaps between these letters. So select all the text layers and increase the letter spacing to 8 to add gaps between the letters. Next, we need add a random disappearance animation to the last text layer. So go to the Animation tab, select out Animation, and apply the Random to animation. Keep the duration at default. So this gives the letters a randomized disappearing effect like this. Alright, now, let's add the drip effect to the last text layer. First, move this text layer to the 4th track. Then duplicate this layer. For the duplicate, we'll focus on creating the drip effect for the letter G. So you can select any letter you want. So select the duplicated layer and remove all the other letters, and leaving only the G letter. Or you can use the letter I instead. Then go to the video settings, unlock the X and Y scale, and adjust the size and position of the letter like this. To create the drip effect, we need to add an adjustment layer, so I add it like this. Okay, then go to the Effects tab, select Video Effects, select Distortion, then choose Stretch Vertical Effect. Then add this effect to the adjustment layer. So in the effect settings, adjust the position of the stretch to match your design. Then increase the stretch value to 10 and change the enhance value to 100. If you need to modify the line size, you can adjust the scale settings like this. Once the line is set up, we need to animate this. So go back to the Effects tab, select Video Effects, and choose the Shape Mask effect. Add it to the adjustment layer. After applying the mask effect, you might wonder how to see and adjust the mask. So to make it visible, add any colored layer underneath the adjustment layer temporarily. This will help you locate and fine-tune the mask settings. Now, let's customize the mask settings. First, set the blur strength to 20 and the radius to 0. Adjust the height to around 0.17 and add a slight angle for a more dynamic look. To create the drip effect, we'll animate the Y position. Start at the beginning of the layer, move 12 frames forward, and create a keyframe on the Y position with the current value. Then, go about 1.37 seconds ahead and adjust the Y position to 1. This creates the drip effect like this. Once done, you can hide or delete the color layer used earlier to locate the mask. Next, let's adjust the key graph. So go to the key graph and select the last keyframe, and applying the ease out graph for a smoother movement. Now that the drip effect is complete, then select all the layers and convert them into a compound clip by pressing Alt+G. Okay, then we can add a few animations to this. So let's add a zoom out animation first. At the start of the layer, create a keyframe for scale. Move to the end and set the scale to about 80. Then to make this zoom out animation faster at the beginning, I'm going to add transition to this. So go to the transitions and add the warp zoom 6 transition to the layer. Adjust the transition duration to around 20 frames. Next, let's add a slide down animation. For that, I select here, creating a keyframe for position, and then moving to the end, and bring this text down like this. Okay, after that, let's adjust the key graph. So go to the key graph, select position X, then select this first keyframe, and add the ease out graph to this. Then repeat this process for the Y position. Alright, next, to give the text some energy, let's add a shake effect. So go to the Effects tab, choose Shake, then select this extreme effect, and add it to the text layer. So in the effect settings, set the frequency to 40 or 20, depending on preference, and ensure that RGB separate is disabled. Once you've added the shake effect, select all the text layers again and convert them into a compound clip. And I name this clip Watermark. So now we can add the finishing effects. Start with the drop shadow by applying the same settings used before. Then, add the glow effect using either the free glow effect or the Boris FX glow effect if available. So in the effects settings, I increase the feathering to 200 and set the intensity to 0.3. Then, to give the watermark a unique stretch look, go to the Effects tab, select Distortion, choose the Distorting Mirror 1 effect, and apply it to the layer. Then you can adjust the strength value you like. Also, if you don't want the stretched look to affect the last text, you can create a simple animation to remove it at that point like this. Also, I forgot to add little angle look for the last text, so go back into the compound clip. Select the last layer. and add a slight rotation by setting the angle to around -2. Alright guys, the watermark is now complete, and here's how it looks. You can also see an example of how this watermark can be used in edits. In my example, I've added few effects like negative flicker, glitch effects, and dot texture effects. Combining these with the watermark gives a result similar to what's used in 24K John edits. So I've included two variations of this watermark, one with effects and one without effects, which you can download from the link in the description. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.